Welcome to another Artist Spotlight with Festival Voice. My name is Xander, and this is
What up, everybody? My name is Bolo. Excited to be here. Xander, thank you for having me on.
excited to have you here. I'm excited to see your growth in the music industry recently, and
Thank
I
you.
have some questions for you. Let's jump into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll start with just a few baseline questions and get a little bit more in depth as we go.
Yeah.
Just to start, what's your name? Where are you from? And what style of music do you usually play?
Yeah, man. So my real name is Edgar. My DJ name is Bolo. I usually blend a lot of Latin and EDM, a lot of Latin house. Been experimenting a little bit more with Moombahton. Based out of here in San Diego. Grew up in Napa Valley, up near the Bay Area in California. So California native, and yeah, man.
So, what are some interests or passions of yours outside of the EDM or music world?
Yeah, I mean, I like to travel a lot, so I got a trip to Europe planned later this year. I got a lot of dope gigs lined up for the rest of this year too, all kind of around the country. So I'm excited to travel, go out, explore the world, meet new people. That's really what gets me excited, man. I love playing basketball. I'm not very good, I'll admit, but I have a good time when I'm out there. Working out again, I've been falling off my routine, but it's something I do enjoy. And hanging out with family, man. My cousins, I got a huge family, so anytime I get together with my cousins, which doesn't happen often, but when it happens, man, it's a good time.
What is a dream collaborator for you at the moment? Someone that you'd love to work with, small scale, big scale, any scale.
Yeah, I think one of my dream collabs right now would probably be with like Matroda. Um, Matroda, Blue Claire would be another dope collab. He's a killer producer. De Oro, he's a big DJ in the Latin scene. He's killing it
Mm-hmm.
right now too. He does a lot of huge collaborations, so I'd be super down to work with him. And I think yeah, those are probably like my top three right now.
Nice. So, getting into a little deeper of the questions, I'm curious, what inspired your DJ name? Is it focused on the literal translation, or is more underlying details or meaning there?
Yeah, no. So it's actually a family nickname. The full name is Boloncho, which basically just means like fat kid. I was always a big kid, huge kid, and so it always basically meant just big kid Boloncho. And then all my cousins would call me Bolo for short. It's easier, rolls off the tongue, one syllable. But yeah, I'm curious to hear kind of what do you mean? What is the literal translation to you? Because I've heard a few different things.
So I looked it up after knowing you for a long time. I was just like, well, I wonder what it actually the translation. I wonder what the translation actually is, and it said a drunk male.
Interesting.
At least that's what Google says. I was just like, oh, okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense
yeah,
on
yeah.
a party level.
Yeah, honestly, I've heard a few different things. Be on the lookout is another what is called like an acronym.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what it stands for. And then there's like Bolo Thai. I've also heard like in a few different countries, it means different things. Like for Polynesians, it means one thing, and Hawaii it means another thing. So always curious to hear what people think. But yeah, man, family nickname.
what can you tell us about BPM Supreme and your involvement with them?
No, BPM Supreme, man, that's family. I've been kind of working directly with them for the past like year or so. Was originally doing remixes for them, so that's kind of what I do now. I'm a remixer for them. I'm one of their editors. So basically, BPM Supreme, for those of you who aren't familiar, they have it's an online record pool, so DJs can go on, pay a monthly subscription. They get unlimited downloads. BPM Supreme has a bunch of ties with a bunch of huge record labels, and then they work with remixers and editors like myself and a bunch of other dope remixers to pretty much remix those songs that they have the rights to. So, for example, you as a DJ could go to One Stop Shop, pay a one-time monthly fee,
Okay,
and you get unlimited downloads. And you'll find a bunch of my remixes on there. So that's kind of my relationship with them.
that's cool.
Yeah, dude, I think it's one of the leading, like the biggest in terms of user base.
Mhm.
Record pools, the dopest remixers. Outside of just myself, some killer remixers on there, and they also have a sample library. They have BPM Create. So if you ever use like Splice, for example,
Oh, okay.
it's like identical to Splice. So if you're ever tired of those Splice sounds, you should check out BPM Create. It's super dope.
So playing Beyond Wonderland that was your biggest show to date?
I'd say biggest booking, yeah, to
How
date.
how did the scale and expanse of playing Beyond Wonderland compare to playing with the bars, clubs, or say largest venue here in San Diego, Nova? How did
Yeah,
it
yeah.
compare?
It was different, man. Like I said, it was my first festival, so I didn't really know kind of what to expect. I played the Beatbox R card, which again was new to me. I had not played that before. I think the most surreal moment though was like walking around the festival prior to my set, like a few hours before, just kind of checking it out. and getting recognized by a bunch of people just through TikTok, through
Oh,
gigs out here in San Diego. That was a super dope feeling. I think that's when I kind of realized, like, wow, I didn't realize, how big of a reach we actually had, until I actually got to play the set. I know you were there, so you kind of saw, but
yeah.
it was super dope. It filled up like as it got closer to the set, and then it was pretty packed for a while, which was super unreal, super surreal. We played the set, got to meet a bunch of dope people, a bunch of dope homies, and nah, that was couldn't have asked for a better first festival, man. That was huge.
So I'm wondering, were any of these people, side question, were any of these people that noticed you from TikTok, did they notice you specifically coming from the carne asada from those videos?
Dude, I will say TikTok's a cool tool, man. I feel like when I started making those carne asada videos, that's like when I feel like I really started to like tap in with like my audience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And so that was, I always never take those for granted because those are huge. I haven't done those in a while, but I did see the growth, and not only just like followers, but just like in the community as a whole.
yeah.
That was dope.
I definitely saw them like gracing my timeline even when I'm in my other profiles
Yeah,
and
yeah,
whatnot. Just like, oh, there it is.
that's dope, man. No, I need to bring those back. Those were cool.
Festival season is just getting started. Can we expect to see Bolo on any more festivals this summer? I know, I think that I saw you're going to be playing a pre-party for Coachella as
Correct.
well.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
this interview is out by then.
Yeah, yeah. So that's actually this weekend. So yeah, I'll be doing a pre-party for Coachella. Got another couple dope bookings that we just recently locked in that are later this year, kind of towards the end of summer. But super big festival, super excited. I don't know if I'm allowed to announce it yet, but I'll definitely be announcing it soon. So I think Beyond definitely kind of put us on a nice trajectory, and kind of just opened the doors for a lot of cool opportunities. So I'm super grateful for that. But yeah,
Nice. What would be top one, top two festivals that you'd like to play?
top top honestly, one of my top festivals that I'd like to play is Hard Summer. That was like kind of one of my first like raves that I consider a rave that I went to, and that was just unreal, man. It set the festival bar high for me. So that's probably one of my dream festivals to play.
What was your first year of Hard Summer? I'm curious.
2018.
2018.
Yeah, that was my first year.
My introduction to the electronic music scene was Hard Summer 2013.
Oh really? Yeah, that's
And it
crazy.
was it was hot.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. My first festival ever was actually Coachella 2017. It was one of my cousins. They're super into EDM. Like since I was growing up, they've been trying to get me. They've been having me listen to EDM, and then they took me to Coachella for my first time, and that's when I was like, wow, this is crazy. EDM is like it's like a main stage act, you know?
And less than a decade later, playing at least one of those pre-parties.
Dude, I know, man. We got a long way to go to get there, but I'm excited.
Absolutely. What would be something that you would say is your mantra or a quote that you really live by day to day?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few. I feel like one is just like tomorrow is never guaranteed, so live it up today, you know? Nothing in life is promised, so make the most of today is something that I try to go by day.
I like that. I
Yeah,
mean, it's facts. The older we get, the more it's true.
it's true, man. Yeah, time is of the essence, man. Time is money.
Getting a little bit deeper on some questions. You've released a fair amount of singles and remixes, and as you said, you got the ones on BPM Supreme. Is there one in particular that means a lot to you, maybe more so than others?
That's a good question. I feel like I'm still experimenting with my sound, trying to see what I got. I will say one of the most memorable tracks that I didn't really expect it to be is I have this track that's out on all platforms. It's actually like a bootleg of this song called Dale Don Dale, which is like an old school reggaeton song. This one I kind of was working on a remix, and then I ended up flipping it into like a deep, dark, like almost like techno-y bass house track almost, and I
Okay.
got crazy with the synths. And it's again, I'm still experimenting with my sound, so I wasn't really sure what I was doing yet. But you know what? It sounds dope. I really like the sound, so I just put it out, not really expecting too much to happen. And I would say it didn't really resonate too crazy with my audience, but that track alone led to so many opportunities. I got hit up by Insomniac for the first time. They used that track for a recap for one of their shows that they did over at Exchange. And then that just kind of opened the doors to obviously getting these festival bookings, starting working with other promoters across the country. So you never really know what a track is going to do. That's why another motto I like to live by is like, if you have the songs that are done and they're of good quality and you're proud of them, just put them out, bro, because sitting on
Yes.
your hard drive, they're not gonna.
Yeah. Artists, put out your music
Yeah,
always.
always, man. Because like I said, that one I didn't have any expectations for that one. I put it out and it opened a lot of doors. So you never know.
What would be something that you've learned from the music industry, either positive or negative, that you wish you knew when you started?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm still learning too. I'm pretty early in my career in terms of where I hope to be one day. But I think it always has been and always will be a relationship game. So I mean, don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone, meet new people, shake hands with new people. I think that's it. And then also just don't be afraid to take risks. Like don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone, do your own thing. Obviously, it's kind of easy to replicate and mirror what other people are doing because obviously it works for them, but don't be afraid to be your own person and kind of see what works for you and stay true to yourself.
Just overall, what got you into playing, creating music in the first place? What's been the main driving force to keep you going? Seems you said 2017 was your first like real festival,
Yeah,
and 7 years later now you're playing Beyond Wonderland.
yeah,
So
man.
what keeps you going in those 7 years?
Dude, honestly, I think I've told this to my cousins too, but I got to give a lot of props to them. Since growing up, they've always had me, on the forefront of new music, especially EDM. Since I was growing up, I always thought I wanted to be like a wedding DJ, like a mobile DJ. I actually, funny story, when I was growing up, I was probably like maybe like 15 years old. I used to be like a little roadie for this wedding DJ who used to do all our family
No
parties,
way.
and I used to just like wrap all his cables, move all his subwoofers and stuff. And then that's kind of what I was learning. That's what I thought DJing was. And then it wasn't until that first festival in 2017 where I saw DJs, on the main stage playing, just putting on performances. That's when it kind of opened my eyes. I was in college my sophomore year that year, and then as soon as I got back, I was like, yeah, honestly, I'm gonna re-switch my thinking of what a DJ is, and it's not just mobile gigs, weddings, but it can be performances and shows.
Hmm.
And that's really I think what kind of clicked for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Few more questions for you. A little bit more on the fun side, a little bit personal side. You become a pretty big name in the San Diego scene. What are some other local artists that you know of that you've been focused on that you're really excited to see their come up as well?
Oh, I mean, thank you. I appreciate that, first of all. But I think San Diego's cool, man. I think what I really like about San Diego is the community that's out here, especially in the music industry, like the music scene. I got to give it out to my boy Shaq, man. Jared, if you guys don't know Shaq, he's a killer DJ. Since I moved out here to San Diego, he's kind of been like, he's my guy, man. He's introduced me to everybody, opened a lot of doors. So big shout out to Shaq. He's a killer. Who else? The homie Daniel G. He does a little bit more open format, but he's a killer turntablist. He blends genres like crazy. There's a lot of talent out here in San Diego. I think there's a long list, but I'm excited, man. The scene is growing, and it's on the come up.
Yeah, Shocked is actually how we met originally
That's true.
at
That's true.
that show back in like October 23 or something like that.
Yeah,
2022, 23.
I think it was through the podcast too, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, yeah.
A little bit of a funny question here. Would you rather play a B2B with an artist who's purposely throwing you curveballs with beat selection or song selection in their song choices, or an artist whose song choices are almost exclusively top 40 EDM?
Oh, that's an easy one. I think I'm down for curveballs all day. I feel like it kind of forces you to like not one up each other, but kind of be like, yo, check this out, and it's like, oh, check this out or top this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I feel like that makes for a good B2B dynamic. So all day.
yeah. What is a current EDM trend that you can really get behind, or maybe one that you'd like to see teeter off quickly?
I will say one that I'm here for it to stay is I think UK garage and techno. I think my I've grown to appreciate it a little bit more after hitting a few of these festivals. I'm kind of seeing it and experiencing it live, and I'm like, wow, this is actually it's dope, man. A lot of people sleep on it, and I think it's like a natural progression. People who just get into EDM, they're not there yet, and then once you've kind of been in it, you have a more, I guess, acquired palate almost. Yeah, it's techno's cool, man. Techno, UK garage, drum
Yeah.
and bass, dope stuff.
Techno's really been on the come up. I've been seeing a lot of artists come out with new techno stuff. I was just like, I didn't know you did that, but awesome.
Yeah.
And then one last little fun question: what's on your rider that you can't live without?
Ooh, I'd probably say hot Cheetos, man. Hot Cheetos go crazy. Even if you're not eating them in the club, because you get them red fingers,
Oh yeah,
on the Uber home, those are gonna hit.
oh yeah. All
Yeah.
right, so this has been Bolo. I am Xander with Festival Voice, signing out.
Xander, thank you, brother. Let's get it.